Hello, my people. How are you? I have come to realize that in this life, one of the most important things is having one skill called mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to be stable, not to be shaken when the world is falling apart. Because from the time a human being is created up to the point of death, a human being is going to face huge challenges. That is just a normal human experience. There will never be a problem-free world. Even the wealthiest people in this world go through challenges. So the ability for you to be mentally tough is going to be very significant in your journey throughout life. Because if you cannot be able to remain calm and smile when you're going through your darkest moments, it's very hard to laugh when things are falling apart. But if you're mentally tough, nothing can shake you. Yes, you will develop some stress, but you will not allow that stress to immobilize you. I am going through a stage in my life where mental toughness has really been significant in my journey, because I lost my job and I didn't know that this would happen. It just caught me by surprise. And this is how I always encourage myself. I always convince myself that everything is going to be fine. I know that there are people who are going through even more tough situations than I am. I know there are people who are struggling to get food. Sometimes they're able to eat, and sometimes they are not. There are some people who are having to decide whether to purchase drugs, and by drugs I mean prescription drugs or food. They have to choose either of those. But I'm lucky because even though I've lost my job, I am healthy. I'm able to feed myself. And I know that God is going to provide. That is my principle. And that's the principle that I think everybody should have. Having to trust God in your most difficult times. It is not easy. The situations might not turn around as soon as you expect. But you have to convince yourself that everything is gonna be fine, no matter what you're going through, no matter how tough things are, no matter what the situation is, you're going to be fine. And I'm gonna be fine. I am gonna release another video very soon when God will have provided me either with another job or He will enable me to start my own business. And I know that I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, but God had His own plan. I know that most of us have expectations for the future. Most of us, when we get job opportunities, we always try to imagine how good the future will be when we save enough money. So we have a lot of expectations, and it is when you're not able, when something happens that surprises you, like losing a job, you are more likely to develop stress because of the expectations that you set for yourselves. It's okay to have priorities. It's okay to budget for the future. It's okay to dream. It's okay to have dreams, because if you don't have dreams, then what are you here for? It's okay to have dreams and to have plans for the future, but we should not let those plans that we have for the future blow up on our face when things are not going the way we expected them to go. Because if you had future plans and then you lose your job, the plans that you had on the future are the ones that are going to escalate the problem. Because you're going to be thinking, how am I going to achieve my dream? I have had this dream for years. Now that I've lost my job, what am I going to do? That will happen. But if you don't have a lot of plans for the future, you wouldn't be worried, because you think, oh, I'm going to figure it out. But if you had plans, maybe you wanted to buy a house, you wanted to buy an estate, you wanted to do all sorts of things, and then you lose your job. That's when stress kicks in. That's when that's when you develop frustrations. You start asking yourself, why did this happen to me? And so what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to have plans for the future, but don't be so preoccupied with your plans such that when you're not able to achieve them, you fall in a trap called stress, frustration, and depression. It's okay to dream big, but is it worthy to dream big if that dream is going to be like having a gun pointed towards your face? It's not worth it. I'm not telling you not to dream. We all have to dream, but we should not let our dreams preoccupy our mind. We should not let ourselves be so carried away by our plans and the dreams for the future, to the point that if those dreams don't come true, we fall into depression. That's what I'm trying to say. Dream big, but always remember that life is a struggle, and life is not going to be easy. Nobody should lie to you. Life is hard. Life is full of ups and downs. But does that mean that we should give up? No, we should not give up. We should keep fighting, keep pressing on, keep fighting. Because once you give up on fighting for your future, oh, it's gonna be hard for you and your family. We have to keep fighting, because that's what, and I think that is what life is all about. Keep fighting for the future, to keep fighting to improve ourselves, to keep fighting to develop a good personality. Nobody wants to date somebody who is always negative about everything. So life it's all about fighting. Life is all about fighting. I don't mean physically fighting. I mean pressing on, getting rid of bad habits. Oh, that should be the first on the list. Fighting bad habits. If you're addicted to anything, that's probably what's holding you back from achieving your dreams. I've been addicted once, it led me through a very dark trail that I would not rather talk about now. It's a story for another day. But whoever is listening to me right now, I'm talking to you. Don't give up on your dreams. Giving up only makes things worse. We've got to keep fighting. I've been fighting all through since I was born. I was a kid. Thieves broke into our house. We didn't have a ceiling. So they were climbing on walls. And we were living in a mud house. So one of the thieves hit the lamp. We were using a kerosene lamp. And when it fell down, it ignited the blanket that we were covering ourselves with. I was sleeping next to my brother, so the blanket was on fire. And then all of a sudden, everything was burning and we were sleeping. So these thieves, they turned to be lifesavers. They started shouting, "Hey, there's fire, wake up." And they took me out of the house and my brother with blankets on fire. And then they ran for their life. If they didn't come to if they were not there when the kerosene lamp ignited our blanket, I would have burned to death. Thank God I didn't sustain even a single burn. So, what would you say about that? Sometimes things happen for us that we can never anticipate. Those thieves were there at the right time and at the right place. I don't encourage stealing, but what I'm encouraging right now is that nobody should ever give up. Nobody should ever give up. I believe that as long as we have dreams and as long as we are pushing on and pressing on, we're going to reach our destiny. As long as we don't give up. And that's my message. Peace.